A very good morning team. This is Amir Mustafa. In this video we will understand more about Docker images. Are they read-only? And if yes, why? We will understand in detail about layers, image layers. So before going into this video, this concept, in the previous video we have seen that we have understood Docker images and container in depth. Suppose if you haven't seen it, so the basic thing what we need to see over here is that there are certain commands which we do. Docker ps, every command does something, like psa checks list of container, docker run image, create the container. Docker psa gives all the container in our local. There's interactive mode. Docker build dot creates image from Dockerfile. We will do everything in today's video also, but the concept about with image. So if we come over here, what we need to understand is that suppose we are working in a project and suppose we delivered one work. And after we have a Docker file and there is some feature requested or something needs to be changed in a code or bug introduced. At that time we need to modify our code and redeploy or redockerize. So what will happen that in that point of time, whenever we redockerize, we see that images can't be redockerized, they are read only. So without seeing the documentation much, let's go to the terminal and do it practically. So this is our basic server, a basic page where we have just written some HTML codes, dockerizing our app, and these two lines will focus. Suppose we have a feature introduced, we'll write more code. Bug introduced, we'll fix it. So what will happen? First, to create, let's check, are there any active containers? So docker ps command tells us the active container in us. So there are none. To create the image, we run docker build dot. So this is a Docker file and it has sets of instruction. What it needs to do: run npm install from package.json file. Here we didn't install npm install. So we got our image. Let us copy this, clear our console. We got the we built the image, we got the image ID. Now to create the container, we write, by creating a container means think like we are running the node server or Python server, the technology which we want to run. Image ID, and before image ID we publish the port, which is 3000:80. So 80 is the Docker port, 3000 is the port used in by the which is exposed to browser. Enter. And we see that our terminal is running. So if we come over here, let's open it again, localhost 3000, we see that we are getting our app. So till now think that this is the first time one which is rendered over here, and if we see, go to the server page, we see the code which we are seeing here, a basic app and some text over here. Now suppose we want to introduce, we want to modify our code. So let's modify our code. We can write any text for here. Let me write happy learnings. We added some text over here. Now what we will do, normally for re-rendering we will stop it and start it again. True. So let me kill the terminal. Okay. Docker ps. This command is used for seeing all the active container. We get id and randomly assigned name. So let's stop the container. Docker stop image id, or anything we can write. We can also write, see this, there are many properties we can write, image id or container id or image name. This one, no such container. Okay, we need to write container id over here. Cool. So it will accept either container id or container name. It takes a minute max. So we see that this is stopped. If we refresh a server, our page is gone. Now if we rerun this command which we ran earlier, if we rerun this server, what should happen? Mostly the latest command should be rendered. We have added some extra code that should be rendered in our browser. We see that our terminal is again, server is running. So when we come here and enter, we see our latest code is not here. There should be more text written happy learnings, and all the modified newer code is not rendered here. And the reason for this is concept behind image. So if we come over here, what we need to understand is that image is always read only from Docker side. Image hold relationship, and by relationship we mean that we can create multiple containers from one image. Suppose for one container we have used one image, and for second container we modified one image, then it will impact in other containers as well. So what is the solution for this? Why does this happen? Is this a bug? Solution is that every time we change code we need to build it again. For building it again, simply we'll write the command which we ran first, build command, and then running command. So let's come over here. Let's kill this. Docker ps. This time let's stop with the name. Okay, it is gone. So for building it, we write docker build dot. Think that whenever we do any changes in code, we want to re-execute this Docker file. So what it will do, it will recreate the image with the latest snapshots. So we run this command. We get our ID. So for running this, docker run and our new ID, and our server is running. We come over here, refresh, and we can see that we have added our new line of code. The newer text is rendering over here. So this is the concept that whenever we make any changes in the code, we need to rebuild it. This will give us all the latest code. So understanding, in the next portion we'll understanding layers, that whenever we use any image, containers are just a layer on top of image. So if we have 50 MB image and 5 MB code, then if we create 5 containers, every time 5 MB will be used, not 50 plus 5 MB. So this is the case. Let us see multiple scenarios. Case A, if we edit the code and rebuild Docker, our latest code is rendered. True, we have seen now. Case B, if we without any change run the build command again, this time execution will be fast, very fast. And the reason behind is that Docker caches the data. So if we run, we see that there is npm install command here, caches the data. So once it will be cached, it will be fast. But what we want to see over here is that let us rebuild it again. Let me open a terminal and docker build dot. We know we are running this second time. But we see that npm install again ran, but this one from cache. Yeah, that's all for this video, team. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.